Welcome to the Fan Nation podcast for nostalgia. My name's Kristen. I work at the Plumstead Library as a librarian assistant.
Hi, I'm Madison Martinez. I also work at the Plumstead Library as a part-time library assistant.
And my name is Sean. I am the Makerspace librarian in Sparks Lab here in Toms River.
And we're going to talk today about reminisce about like old TV shows, old games, and just kind of have fun with it. So, what were your guys' favorite shows growing up?
So I was a kid of the 80s and I was a kid in the 80s, and then a teen in the 90s. So I have a definitely a different recollection, a different a set of nostalgia experiences than you guys, I'm sure. But I grew up watching things like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, random cartoons like that. Those were probably my bread and butter back then, back when I was a kid.
We're gonna say our decade since you're an 80s because I am technically a 2000s kid, I guess, because I was born in 1999, so like right at the cusp, but I didn't really watch stuff until like the early 2000s. So my stuff was I watched a little bit of Nickelodeon cartoons, like Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom sometimes, but I mostly like stuck to like the Disney Channel. And the live action stuff, like Wizards of Waverly Place or iCarly and Victorious, those were like my shows.
I would definitely have to say like mine were a lot of Disney as well. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon, Toonami when it was a thing on Cartoon Network, for those who
Oh, I
don't know
remember
what that
Toonami.
is.
All the anime
Yes.
dubs, right?
Yes,
Oh
the
my God.
original like introduction to anime where there was Sailor Moon and I think Code Lyoko was on there at one point. Um, but I kind of stuck to Disney for the most part. I'm a very big Disney head, so. Um, Now, why was that your guys' favorite show?
I was a girl's girl, I guess, as a kid, like all the stuff, like the little drama of like going to school and having best friends, the best friend fights, stuff like that. So like that kind of stuff appealed to me if it was made for girls that wanted to be teenage girls, that was what I was into. So
And I just wanted to be a Ninja Turtle fighting crime and eating pizza when I was 8 years old.
the epitome of the genders.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, no, I don't know. They were just the cartoons of that moment. It was a lot of like these are boy cartoons and these are girl cartoons, and I just watched the whatever cartoons were, I'm sure, targeted at my gender and age. So yeah, they got me with all those Ninja Turtles, Transformers, all that stuff. That was, it was cool. Not that little girls couldn't watch those, but I just feel like, it was a different time that they probably weren't watching those shows.
It was a different time, like you said. So stuff was very heavily gendered. I mean, like the My Little Ponies, and I'm like, am I correct in saying like Rainbow Bright, Gem
Oh, Rainbow Bright, yeah.
were the
Yeah,
girl
my
ones for
sister
you?
watched Rainbow Bright, yeah. And I'm sure I did too. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
see, for me, I have an older brother. So growing up, I watched a huge range of things. I didn't really stick to any, like, I guess, gender norm. I kind of like my brother would watch a lot of Naruto, and he's the one that got me into Toonami. Um, so I was watching a lot of the same stuff he was watching, but he never really got into Disney like I did. So, Disney was like my own thing. But I kind of like, I don't know, I've always watched like a little bit of everything. Like I love Teen Titans. Like that
Oh,
was,
Teen Titans was great.
yes, the original Teen Titans. I'm not a huge
The
fan of the
original, yes. Yeah, absolutely. The original, yeah, yeah. That one was really good. And the original Justice League, and then they did Justice League Unlimited. Those were good. Those were really good. I like
and
the
and the what was it? The X-Men TV show. I remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember, yeah, when they did the X-Men animated series in like the 90s ish, whatever year it was. Yeah. Yep, I was a big fan of that too. Yeah, I forgot about that one. And I remember when you there's something one of you guys said that reminded me when I was a kid there was a cartoon. Again, it was more geared probably towards young girls, but it was called Gem. Do you remember Gem? You probably got to
I
see
do
it.
remember Gem.
She was truly
I didn't
outrageous.
watch it a lot, but I do remember it.
I've heard of
Right. She was
it.
like a pop star, but then she also like fought crime or something. Like she would like transform. But yeah, I liked watching Gem.
Okay.
So
So now, do you guys stick to similar shows now, or do you guys kind of like change from that? I personally still watch a lot of Disney. I'm currently rewatching the entire Lilo and Stitch series.
there's a
Um,
Lilo and Stitch series?
yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I mean, I grew up with when it first came out, I watched it, and now I'm like in my spare time, I just have it playing while I'm like either doodling or doing something else, and then like I just have it playing in the background. But yeah, I'm definitely rewatching like the Lilo and Stitch series, so I still definitely like gear towards a lot of like the kid shows I used to watch back then, and I love rewatching them now. Because you get a lot of different innuendos and things that
Right.
maybe your parents got when you were growing up that now you understand. So it actually is like rewatching the show. But what about you
Yeah,
guys?
that's like The Simpsons. When I was a kid, I'd watch The Simpsons just because it was a funny cartoon, not realizing how much like there were adult jokes in there that weren't for me at the time, but now as an adult to watch it back, like they definitely snuck those in there. I watch anime now, like Demon Slayer. I really enjoy Demon Slayer. Um, Voltron was a big one when I was a kid growing up, and then I watched the Netflix version of Voltron, which was better. It was like a more serialized version of the story, like where it wasn't just like standalone episodes or maybe like little, like 1 or 2 part episodes. Um, and what was the other one that they redid? Oh, they redid He-Man, but they just called it Masters of the Universe, and they changed the focus of the series. So that was another one that. So yeah, I mean, I still kind of watch the same things and now with Marvel and the live action Marvel MCU, it's really opened a whole lot of different doors for things that I wish had existed when I was a kid watching TV.
I would say that like I've watched some of the modern cartoons. So like I got into Steven Universe. I was in that fandom. Oh God.
Which one?
Steven Universe. Now that I
Oh,
said that
okay.
out loud, I wish I could retract this statement because
No, there's nothing wrong.
I'm not like one of those. But I'm like, but it was fun. It was a good time. I like the songs. Um, and Star versus the Forces of Evil. One of the rewatches though, so this is kind of because my sister tends to like to rewatch stuff all the time. You guys, the Phineas and Ferb renewal is actually like really good, and we've been rewatching Phineas and Ferb like a lot lately. I forgot how good that show is.
Yeah, that was after my time. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Phineas and Ferb.
You should, I recommend it. I mean, like, because when I was a kid, so when it came out, I was probably right around teenager, like 12, 13. So I was at that age where I'm too cool for cartoons. Like this is still wacky. I don't need this. I need more sophisticated media.
Right.
So I didn't really give it a chance, but then I rewatch it, and actually it's like kind of like the adult jokes thing that you were saying, but not
Mhm.
like that they did not put in adult jokes in Disney shows. But the jokes they do have like a higher sense of humor. Like there's a whole thing like the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. Like there's in the songs they mention that, and it's like kids are gonna know
That's
what the
really funny.
bourgeoisie is, but like they used it properly.
Right.
Like if you like the stupid song like Squirrels in My Pants, they mention college grants. And like it's just I don't know. It's more educated than I thought it was.
Did you guys ever watch Animaniacs?
Yes.
Animaniacs, they like the United States song, the countries,
That the
all of
United
that.
States
Like,
co song is honestly the only reason why I was good kind of at
oh
geography.
my God.
I totally used that to pass my my American test.
Yep.
That's amazing. Yeah, they were teaching you, but like subtly, like sneaking it in there. Um, and Animaniacs too. There were definitely some adult jokes in there that as a kid you might not have gotten, but as an adult you're like, yikes, how'd
Hmm.
they sneak that one by?
Does anybody remember Pinky and the Brain?
Oh yeah, that was a
Sorry,
classic.
that the Nicktoons like that was so not my thing like at all. So those things are like because I know they're like, oh my God, this is like the pinnacle of comedy, and I'm like, I didn't watch it, and I don't play it, but I'm glad you have fun.
No, so there's definitely like that weird, there were definitely weird niche cartoons, I feel like back then that like you
Yeah,
could name and like somebody's gonna look at you like you have three heads, even if they're from the same generation as you. There's some people in my generation that I'm like, oh, do you remember oh God, what Angry Beavers? And then somebody looks at me like, what are you talking about?
I know the name, but I don't think I ever watched an episode of that. But I used to watch Eek the Cat. You ever see Eek the Cat?
Nope, that one doesn't ring a bell to me.
He was just like this purple cat, and um yeah, just again ridiculous that just I don't know, crazy stuff that they would get away with on TV at the time. But it was on like Fox, and they called it like the Eek Extravaganza, and it was like Eek the Cat and another show called like the Terrible Thunder Lizards. Um, and I think there was one more, but there were definitely just those two, or those two at least. But
Okay, so would you guys say like the cartoons today are as good as the cartoons like you grew up with?
Mhm.
Would you say that some are better than the ones you grew up with? Would you say that they're not better at all? Like personally for me, there's definitely some reboots. Like let's take SpongeBob for instance. Like SpongeBob is so long running. Like I remember the very first episode of Ripped My Pants to now, and like between the edit style changes, the way the jokes and the humor are that changed, like I feel like, you know, the SpongeBob that what started SpongeBob is definitely not what the SpongeBob is now,
Mhm.
in my opinion. And things along those lines, like things that have been long running, you know, you saw it change as it went. Whereas, like, the new shows of it today versus the new shows that we were growing up with, I feel there's a lot of, like, for me, I feel like there's a lot of lack of originality in a lot of them. I feel like a lot of them now are a lot of the same thing in terms of cartoons. Maybe that's just me, but
There are very similar themes and art styles that
uh,
tend to like carry over through a lot of the cartoons nowadays. You were gonna say,
I see. I think the art today is so much like the art and the animation today, whether it's because they use like computers to animate it or whatever it is. I feel like the animation is so much better. And sometimes watching some of those old
mm,
cartoons, it's like painful to watch.
that
Um,
is fair.
yeah.
That is fair.
because the animation just to me it like lacks so much. It's like watching you know, a movie from the late 90s, early 2000s, and the CGI, you're just like, oh my God, how did we ever think that this was good? You know,
I feel
but
like that with like old video game graphics sometimes.
Old
Like
Tomb Raider. Everybody knows old Lara Croft from PS3.
and we know what part.
the,
We know what part we're talking about. But I mean, like, you didn't know any better. Like you
right.
couldn't have anything to compare, so it was like the peak. Like, I mean, like you
Yeah.
obviously knew that's not what a person looks like, but like, wow, the graphics are so much better than before. So,
Yeah, definitely a lot of technological advances have definitely come into play. I do have to agree with that. Like it is easier to watch the shows in terms of that for sure.
Since you
Definitely.
mentioned video
Mhm.
games, my wife and I recently bought we bought a Sega Genesis and a an N64, a Nintendo 64. And again, at the time, the graphics, you were like, oh my God, these are amazing compared to like what the original Nintendo had been. But by today's standards, they are so bad. We played GoldenEye on the N64, and like when you get up close to some of the your opponents, like their faces are just like square, like cubes, or like very angular. Like they're not, like you said, they're not what humans look like. But at the time, you were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing," and it just doesn't hold up. And but
Yeah,
you know, in 20 years, the video games that people are playing now probably won't hold up. The animation that we watch now probably won't hold up, and you know, it'll just keep evolving.
which is crazy to think about because we're at the point now that we can like see individual hairs and the texture of genes on things now.
I,
And the
you know,
thing,
some,
I think VR is gonna end up taking over the gaming community in all
Mhm.
yeah,
seriousness. Because I
yeah,
think
probably.
that's, but I don't think we could go further. Well, you know what? Technology will always surprise us, but I don't think we can really go past VR unless they could find a way to make it like Sword Art Online and actually physically put us in the
that will
game,
be the
which
next
I'm
step.
sorry, I don't trust, mostly because of Sword Art Online. But
Mostly because I watched a lot of Black Mirror episodes,
yes,
and yeah, and I don't trust any like Black Mirror. So I'm veering off here, but
You're
Black
good.
Mirror, like I feel like is like predicting a lot of stuff, and that's probably where we're going to go with a lot of technology, and it's really really scary, and I don't want any part of it. I'm going to be an
yeah,
old man
no.
yelling at the clouds, but
No, I'm definitely good with not putting myself mentally inside a video game. I am content with forever staying in the VR age. Because even VR sometimes is a little too realistic, especially with the haptic vests now that let you feel things in the
You
game.
can feel things?
Okay, yes. So there's like haptic vests now. They're like not cheap, but
Well, yeah.
you can buy them and you wear them kind of like you would like if you were going paintballing and you were doing like a shield vest. You pretty much wear one like that, and like if something hits you, you're going to feel a vibration where it hits
I
you.
don't like this.
yep,
You know,
nope, not a fan.
It's like the shock feature on the PS4 controller, like
yeah.
when they have the giants like bam, and then you're like ah, you want to throw the
The
controller
vibration, yeah, it's pretty much like that, except it's now on
on the
like your
body.
body.
Oh
Um,
God.
which I think is kind of cool, but I think that's kind of where I fall off. I don't really think I want to go past that. I don't think I want to really go anywhere near that because I don't know if you guys have seen Player One or Ready Player One, the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But I don't want to live like that.
You die on
no,
the death wheel.
Because that's terrifying. And you know, but they had like the haptic vest kind of thing where you felt things, but they had really in-depth ones that I feel like are just too much. But um, you
the
know,
the closest I could come to that was when I was a kid. Because you guys, I mean, again, I know you guys are younger than me, but laser tag. You ever play laser tag?
yes.
We used to have like a home laser tag game that you could play. You'd run around your house and like you'd put on these vests and you'd shoot each other with lasers. Um, and they would vibrate a little bit, but that was probably like as close as you know, as close to haptics as I could get. But yeah, those were the days, the '80s, when we just shot each other with lasers.
Uh,
Probably blinded people, and who knows.
Yeah.
definitely. Um, okay, so staying to the realm of video game though, what like I guess kind of similar to like your favorite TV show, what's your favorite video game that you grew up with and what's your favorite video game now?
So we went through this. I will say it again. I Kingdom Hearts is my heart and my Kingdom Hearts is like my favorite video game as a kid. I didn't really play it very often, but I really was into the lore. And this was in the beginning of the internet where people would upload like cutscene movies. So that was my like jams that I just watched the cutscenes. But I am older now and I can actually play games, but I don't. I play very like quote unquote cozy games. Like I'm really like into Stardew Valley and stuff like that, where you
Okay.
just like to tend to my crops and my little chickens, and that life is good. Don't need to save the universe. Just want to make money, make friends.
I kind of stuck to like when I was growing up, it was very big on Pokemon. I still love Pokemon very much. But I haven't played the newest games. My current obsession, everybody's current obsession, or most of the people's current obsession is Fortnite. I play that literally every day right now. Um it's
I,
terrible.
I'm not a gamer now. Like we play like the old games, but I would try Fortnite. I feel like Fortnite looks like fun, but
You
yeah.
had Fortnite is one of those games where it's like it's so fun to play. It's so once you find the niche that you like in the game, right now for me it's murder mystery. I yeah, that sounds fun. Um and I'll do battle royale, I'll do the blitz mode that just came out. But when I first started it was really a learning curve. Like Fortnite's one of those games where it's like every season you're getting new movement controls, you're getting new weapons, and you have to learn the mechanics of the game all over again every single season when you're heavy into the battle royale side of it.
Was Fortnite the one? I think my brother-in-law played Fortnite, and was that the one where, like, I thought I remember there being an orb, like a giant orb of some kind, and then they would like it would crack, or like after so many days, or so like people had to shoot it, or there was some, or is that a different game? Am I thinking of?
Okay, so yes and no.
Okay.
I don't remember an orb specifically, but the most recent one that I could I guess vouch to what that is like there's countdown clocks to like events, and depending on the
Okay.
event, depends on if you have something to do. The most recent event that I can think of was Pandora's box, and you had to destroy Pandora's box and the hand holding it to open it for the event. And that took like a month for like the entire community to do because it was like a million health points.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was pretty wild. But comparing original like Pokemon to like and the N64 games and the GameCube games, which is where I kind of originated and started at, comparing those games to like me playing Fortnite, things are a lot more fast-paced now too.
Mm-hmm.
Things are a lot more fast-paced. A lot of it is also like online. They want you to interact with people
Right.
like to play the games now. And there's not like, yes, there's still comfy cozy games like Stardew Valley, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I played Disney Dreamlight as my cozy game. But a lot of the games now are so heavy induced with being online that you're dealing with a lot of different people, you're dealing with a lot of interaction that like you didn't even think would be possible in the time of the N64 and the GameCube. Like, nowhere did it cross your mind that, oh, one day I'm going to play with strangers on the internet, especially when you
Right.
were growing up and you were told, stay away from strangers on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Stranger danger.
Right. And now here we are making friends with strangers on the internet regularly. I have a friend in Canada because of this. Um,
Well, the worlds now are so much more expansive. Like from where we came from with like the original Nintendo, from I mean, even going back farther to like the Atari, like where it was like uh, an 8-bit bar that moved up and down, and you would bounce a ball back and forth and play Pong. To now, like you go into this world and you are not only like in this immersive world, but you can go into buildings in the world and climb up to the top floor of these buildings and interact with other players who are in other countries. And um yeah, it's a whole different world of gaming today from what it was. Um, but I started playing Pokemon. What's it called? Pokemon Scarlet? Is that what it's called?
Scarlet and Violet?
On the
Oh no.
Nintendo Switch because I needed to. I play Pokemon Go still, and to get a Gimme Ghoul, you need to connect your Switch account to your Pokemon Go account. Anyway, I couldn't get it to work, but Pokemon Scarlet was pretty it was pretty cool. I could definitely see myself sitting down and playing that. And again, that immersive world of like exploring not just like a single like the old school like run, jump, and scroll kind of games where the screen would just kind of scroll across and you could only go in like two dimensions or whatever. So it's yeah.
I mean, I definitely do still miss like some of the way the old school games were, but seeing today's like games, seeing how things have progressed, like I don't hate the way that they have progressed. There are times where I do wish like I could see like the original Mario and see that almost stay in the platformer it was with
Mhm.
the updated graphics. You know what I mean? It just because like having that bit of nostalgia, which is kind of like how like we'll segue into that momentarily, but um it's kind of like how all these remakes of movies are coming out. Like you're trying to keep that nostalgia that all of like my age grew up with, or your age, or Madison's age, um, where like we grew up with these things, and now you're trying to touch the generation of now
Mhm.
and give them that same nostalgia feeling with the graphics and the, I guess, like style that they are now used to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see. And I guess that's kind of like why I want to see like some of those games kind of keep the nostalgia of them without while still maintaining today, I guess, if that makes sense.
Hello, adventurers. If you enjoy this content, please take a look at the Ocean County Library's new podcast called Forge Your Imagination, a guide to immersive world building. This new podcast is dedicated to helping creative individuals design their own expertly crafted worlds for books, games, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Tune in on the first Wednesday morning of every month to learn more. Thanks for listening and safe travels, adventurers.
Bringing nostalgia back in the style of today, um, do you guys have something that you want to see like come back from the way it was into today's style, or would you rather leave it in the past?
Does 2D animated Disney movies count?
Yes.
Yes, please. I hear got like a movie called Gato is coming out soon that is like 2D. I don't know. It's spelled Gato, like Spanish capital with two T's. I don't know. It could be a rumor on Instagram, but I feel like we have halted. I gotta go on. There is so much you could do with 2D animation, but we can't get there and we can't get to the new point of 2D animation and the amazing stuff it could do because Disney and other companies think that 3D is for some reason better, and so they keep advancing that technology, and that's fine and all, but like there's still like so much potential with the new technology and stuff that you can do. Like, I mean, have you seen like Maui's tattoo things? Like, that was 2D animation. That was
That
like a
is true.
thing.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of that now.
And like indie developers, like I watched Glitch is doing its first 2D project, and the person who did Disney's The Owl House is doing a 2D thing. Owl House is a Disney cartoon animated series. Was Had a very niche following. I did not watch it. I really want to
Gonna
watch
say
it.
that it doesn't sound familiar.
It's like 2015 not even 2015, like 2020, but it got canceled. It was one of the only like Disney properties I think that had LGBTQ animation representation as well in the characters, the main characters. I
Okay.
might be wrong. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But I hear that but Disney cut it off because it wasn't very popular. But it sucked because there was a really big fandom and it was really well animated. So bring 2D animation back, please.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know that there's anything that I think would bring that I would bring back. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of good with where things are. I'm okay with things having like progressed the way they have, and so yeah, I nothing comes to mind right now.
I think for me, I just want to see the originality kind of come back. Because I feel like when things were still like newer and things were coming out, we weren't like redoing everything or making a series last longer than it needed to for no reason. And I feel like we're
Mhm.
doing that a little too much now. Um, so I personally want to see the originality of the nostalgia of things from back then come back versus like seeing them get remade. Um, Not to say that some of the live action stuff isn't good or to say like, seeing some of like the remastered video games now is not a bad thing either. Um, but it's definitely like I want to see new. I want to see like a new story. I want to see a new character. I want to see a new theme, I guess. Because like God, how many Resident Evils do we have now? And then, like even with
Too
Fast
many.
and Furious, like the very first movie was like really fun to watch, and now we're on what, 10? And it's
Well,
like, all right,
they keep having to like up the level of like they're like now we're shooting a car into space or like whatever the last one was that they did. But like yeah,
right. Like they're just making stuff to make stuff, I feel like. And
Mhm.
I feel like not to say that there isn't a niche of kids, not to say that there isn't kids today that like love these shows, love these things, grew up with these things, and that's going to be their nostalgia in a few years. And that's great. Um, but I wish for them that they have something in the future that's they can say, oh, yeah, that was really nostalgic for me. And now they're doing this new thing that seems interesting versus, oh, yeah, I've been following this since one and we're on like 25 now.
Oh my gosh, everything just had the length of The Simpsons. Like just that would
Like just
sound
forever not ending.
oof.
And I feel like that's a lot of where you start losing like that nostalgic feel or that novelty feel or that um I guess connection with a character or connection with a show or a connection with a thing, you kind of lose that today.
Mhm.
Versus like when we were growing up, you loved that one character and now that character is no longer around and you really miss that character. You know what I mean? Versus like these characters are popping up everywhere, right, all over the place, and it's kind of like you don't know what to do. You love the character and that's great, but it's not like the character ever goes away. So like,
It becomes a part of you. And that's when
yeah,
comfort characters become a thing.
exactly.
That's a great bond. Like that's a
Exactly.
thing.
And I feel like a lot of kids today, or a lot of the kids growing up now, like what is it, Gen Z is the next one, or the
no,
current one?
I
No,
think we're on Gen Alpha, aren't
Gen
we?
Alpha,
Yeah,
that's the
okay.
one.
Yeah,
The
I do feel bad for Gen Alpha because like they're gonna grow up where they're not gonna be able to necessarily get a comfort character like the version of comfort character that we had.
definitely not.
And it is kind of sad to think. And I think that's
Well, but
why
it'll just be different.
Maybe.
Like their
hopefully.
characters would just be like I feel like now they're now you can love a character and then you can go find other people on the internet that love that character too, and people who have like written fan fiction, and um, I feel like there's just more content available.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, and I mean, like,
but
trust me, I loved my fanfiction.net when I was a kid. And that was how that's how I like experienced some of my comfort characters and like learning, oh, I can like imagine different scenarios with them. The only thing is, what character that is most recent for children do you know that has that level of character depth that you could do that with?
I mean, I'm not familiar, and maybe Bluey, but I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not a
Oh, oh, geez. Oh
but I'm not a
no.
big
Yeah, Bluey
not,
is one.
Oh no.
Bluey
I
is
don't know.
one. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And they have aged her up. Oh
But they'll
no.
probably at
There
some
is
point
very few though.
they'll
Yeah.
probably make like a live action Bluey, like a computer animated Bluey
Let's
or
not
something.
don't put that in the world.
No,
But
that
Oh, I'm sure it's already out there.
yeah.
yeah,
There'll be
probably.
a
But yes, I guess
they'll
Bluey
make like a
would be.
CGI Bluey. It's like, is he a dingo or is she a dingo? Wait,
No,
No,
it's
they're Australian shepherds.
oh, they're Australian. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought they were dingoes. I don't know.
Because
they're
one of them's
Australian.
name is Bingo.
Oh, is it? Okay, maybe that's why.
No, it's okay.
That could be it.
Um, but
Okay.
I do believe we're coming to the end of this podcast. Is there anything that you guys would like to say to the audience about like growing up, dealing with nostalgia, remembering things?
I mean, enjoy it. It's gonna love it. If you have a character, a fandom, anything that you love now, love it. Don't call it a guilty pleasure. It's just something you enjoy. It doesn't have to be like a something that you hide or be ashamed of.
Yes.
Just let your nerd
Absolutely.
flag fly, and
Cringe culture is dead. The
yes,
only
exactly.
cringy thing is making fun of people by saying it's cringe. That's the I stole your thunder. I'm sorry. I got
No,
excited.
that's
Agree with both of you though. Yeah, definitely you know, never be afraid to like rewatch those old cartoons, play those old games. Like, yeah, it might be the crummy graphics or the just the childish aspect of it, but sometimes you know what? Reliving those memories and re and talking about them or seeing them again, sometimes just brings about a different form of happiness that maybe you just haven't experienced in a while that, would make you see light, I guess, in a way. So maybe not light. I no, it's the wrong wording, but
Sometimes the world sucks, and sometimes, but but the reason why fandoms even exist is that it's a way to create community and joy through fictional media, and that's why it's there.
yeah,
Alright.
we really didn't even touch on like childhood toys and stuff, but that's
Oh,
hey,
something
if
that
another day.
you know what, if you guys want to see more of this and you want us to bring back a nostalgia podcast for next year, please let us know. But for now, we have our 10-year Fan Nation anniversary event on October 4th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We hope that you guys come out and come say hi to all of us staff working there, as well as our wonderful presenters. Come view our art, and you can check that out on the oceancountylibrary.org, our homepage. And also, please do check out the rest of our podcasts. We're so glad that you came in to hear us today, and we hope you liked it.